the champ is here. I would say it's the first time
Boom.
on my channel that a proper champion of a big organization in Europe is my guest, and yeah, it's Will Fleury from Ireland, and I'm pleased to have you on my show because you had a tremendous year, 2024,
Cheers.
and you had some experience with Germany as well when you showed up in Frankfurt and knocked out Pavo Langer. When you and after that you won the title against a legend of the federation, I would say, the organization Oktagon, against Karlos Vemola. When you look back at 2024, how would you sum up in a few words your probably best year of your career?
Yeah, definitely. It went really well, but I feel like I've done the work to be at that level, and I've been at that level for a long time. So as much as I was delighted it went well, it took such a long time for my career to take off that now I'm just, as much as I'm happy with that, I feel very determined about doing much more with my career, you know? So it's like, okay, this is nice. For a lot of people, this would be like, wow, amazing, great. But for me, it's like, yeah, cool. What's next? Let's go. Come on. um, so as much as I was really happy and I am really grateful all of those things happened, I'm extremely determined to do a lot more than this, you know?
Yeah, and you have your next opportunity on upcoming or the following Saturday in Stuttgart.
Yeah.
But before we come to this, when you look back at your title fight against Karlos Vemola, it was a really weird run. You really controlled the fight for about all of the time, but you couldn't finish him because
Yeah,
he
he
was like
was
in zombie mode. How was your
so tough.
experience with Karlos?
It was crazy, to be honest. I couldn't believe some of the shots that he was taking because at the time I was thinking, are these landing like I feel they're landing? And then when I looked at the video, I was like, yeah, they landed. They were good shots. They were good punches, you know. It felt like they were good punches. And look, some of the shots I missed a little bit and I could have been a little bit more accurate. But overall, yeah, some big, big punches landed and he ate them. And I don't know how because I'm a big guy. I'm powerful. You know, when I hit well. The guy has an incredible chin, and the guy showed incredible heart sometimes in that fight because in the third round, when I really started to open up on him and I got a little bit of space, he was crowding me all the time. Like he was always right on top of me. So eventually, when I got a tiny bit of space, when I could hit him properly, I felt like, yeah, okay, you know, this is over. You know, you're not going to survive. Somehow he managed. And then after this, I landed a big knee. And look, I've said it to everybody. I just can't believe that he was able to eat this knee and to keep going. So massive respect to him for showing such heart and staying in the fight. But I was I was a little bit unhappy I couldn't finish the guy, but I'm proud of the fact that even in this situation, I stayed going and I was still dominating, dominating, dominating. But after the third round, I was like, man, I went back to my corner. I was like, what do I have to do to finish this guy? And both my coaches, Owen and Nereus, were like, don't try to finish him anymore. Just play, you know, BJ, like touch, move, touch, move. So after this, it was like, okay, don't throw these crazy punches. Just like touch him, keep hitting him, keep staying in control, you know?
Yeah, and you did, and I think he was a bit wobbly after a head kick of yours,
Yeah, a
and
few times. Like, yeah, a few
I had
times.
Shamrock on the show. He said with another referee, or I think with Mark Goddard, it would be waved off way earlier. But didn't this make the fight more iconic in the end? I mean,
Plus, yeah, and look, like a lot of people criticize the referee. I wouldn't criticize the referee because he stayed going. At the end of like when I was beating him up in this third round, a couple of times, like, look, I looked at the referee at one point to be like, come on, are you gonna stop this? But actually, he still had some gas in the tank. Like to me, it looked like he's done. But then he threw big punches afterwards. He was throwing back. He was trying. When he got this guillotine, he squeezed like his life depended on it. He showed a lot of heart to me. Like there's things that people watching the fight won't see, but the power that he was still able to put out and the effort he was still trying to win. That was what was crazy. So
hmm,
massive respect to Carlos.
yeah.
But yeah, I think other referees probably would have stopped the fight. But
Hmm.
you're right. I'm not the guy criticizing the referee. I'm not saying, oh, it should have been stopped. He showed enough heart that I would like watching it. I'd be like, yeah, you can't stop the fight now. He's still trying. He's still trying to win. And when a
Yeah.
guy's still trying to win the fight and still has a chance, you gotta let it keep going, you know?
Yeah, and in the end, you created a fight which fans are going to watch 25 minutes all over again if they want to, and there's no boring minute in that fight, right?
Cool.
And
Yeah, I'm glad you feel like that.
yeah, and now you're trying to become double champ in Oktagon against Lazar Todev in Stuttgart. After your win against Karlos, you sized up with Makhmuradov to go down in weight to fight in middleweight, and now actually you're fighting in heavyweight, which probably is the easier way for you to fight. What can we expect in that fight? Because Lazar is probably the same stature as Karlos, maybe a bit more. He has a bit more power, I would guess.
Yeah,
but what can we expect from that fight?
I think Todev is a good fighter. Like, I look at the way he moves. For a big guy, he moves really well. Not many big men can move in and out as fast and as well as he does. I think he likes a nice technical fight. He's very aesthetic the way he fights. I think I'm able to brawl a little bit more. I'm able to scrap a little bit more, and I think I can go quite a lot harder for quite a lot longer than he can. I think I showed this in the Karlos fight, you know. When Karlos didn't break, I didn't break either, you know. I still have the gas to go and go and go. But it could go a lot of ways because he's been very good at not been taken down in his fights so far. You know, he's shown very good defensive wrestling. He keeps his range quite well. I'm a much better wrestler than any of the guys he's fought so far. But at the same time, I also possess a massive threat with my hands. So with both of these threats on play, I think one of these things will open up. And I'm willing to take whichever. Like, the way I look at this fight is I will be proud no matter what way I beat him. Some guys, it's like, I really want to knock this guy out. You know, I want to play with him on the feet. It would mean a lot more to me. With Karlos, I wanted to knock him out, you know, because to submit him, it doesn't mean as much. With Todev, honestly, whichever way I win, I'm happy. Like, if I can take this guy down, control him, submit him, I'm delighted with that because nobody else has ever even put him on his back properly. We've never seen the guy controlled on the ground. So if I'm the first guy to do that, great, amazing. But if I'm the first guy to knock him out, great, amazing, you know?
But it seems like Lazar is the bigger challenge in the end.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. No, I think he's the best guy I've fought so far.
And so what are the threats he's bringing to the table?
He has lovely hands. Like, his boxing is very good and very accurate. If you watch his last fight with Powers, he times Powers' entry really well. He lands a lovely straight right hand. And he's quite, like, he's relaxed with his hands. He's fast and he's sharp. Not a lot of big guys are like this, you know? Most big guys, they kind of throw with power, but they don't throw with, like, speed and accuracy. He can do that. He's a good boxer. And he's good with his kicks. Like, he's got low calf kicks, quite good. Like, and he moves. He doesn't allow people to hit him a lot. Like, he up and he's back out of range. So if you're just expecting a slugfest where you're going to sit in on your feet and just throw punches, no, you're going to have to track this guy. You're going to have to move around with him. So I think it could be a very exciting fight for a while. But I think if we start to go and we up that pace, when the pressure gets on, I'm the guy who responds to this pressure really well. So I'm very excited about this fight. I think it's going to be a very good fight.
And you got a little bit of reach advantage in the end. Was the preparation for this fight totally different then? Because you never fought a guy like that, like you told, or the biggest challenge in your career right now?
Yeah, like, I did some similar movements to when I was fighting Langer. So some of the same stuff that I've trained for that fight, I trained similar sequences. Some of the combos were the same that I was doing on the pads a lot. But actually, with this guy, I kind of think I'm going to have to stalk him a lot more because he breaks. So, like, if you watch him, he backsteps twice and then he breaks off to the right a lot. So my left side attacks are going to be a big pressure. Look, I don't want to get too much away, you know. But overall, I think if I can track him and pressure him constantly, we'll see more exchanges. Because with Moel chased him a lot, but he allowed him to circle out. So Moel would come in and land 1-2 punches, and Todev would circle and run back to the center of the cage. And from his point of view, this is a smart thing to do. But if you don't allow him to do that, what's his response? So we'll find out, you know, it'll be very interesting.
We will find out definitely.
Exactly.
And speaking of your preparation, you're from the SBG gym in Ireland, which many people connect to Conor McGregor. Is it still the McGregor gym? It isn't, right? It is still the John Kavanagh gym. In the end, what makes the gym still special?
Well, look, we've a lot of guys from around Europe training there. That's the thing. It's like it's an Irish gym. We have a lot of good Irish fighters there, but we have a lot of foreign guys who come over. So it's kind of like a hub of talent, you know. So if you're like, thankfully for a good while we had like Johnny Walker coming over, and then myself and Carl Moore. Carl would be my main training partner. He's just fought for the Bellator title in his
Yeah.
last fight. So he fought Corey Anderson. So we've got a couple of high level big guys, which is nice because it's hard to get good, like big guys who are really good. It's very hard to get those guys. And I feel lucky that I have some guys around me who are like that. Um, so in that sense, it's great. And I'm very grateful for having that. But also, I think one thing, like as a gym, it's very open minded. You know, the guy like John is a very open minded coach. If you present him with, like, look, I'm breaking this guy down. What do you think I should go and approach? He'll give you like five different things that you could go and work on. He'd be like, there's no correct one. It's just like work all five of these and see which one comes best for you, you know?
Mm.
And I like that attitude. I like the way his mindset works. And I have my own coach, like, well, he's part of the gym, Darius. And he's like originally just my jiu-jitsu coach, but now Darius has kind of come on board as my MMA guy. And he has a lot of experience. So like he's just very insightful with little details on like movements that can break people down and just like how to pressure and range and even just like, you know, subtle little things of like keeping your knees bent in certain situations and details, you know,
Yeah.
high level details that make a massive difference in fighting. And I
Mm.
feel very grateful to have guys like that around me, you know. So to me, that's what SPG is about. And look, I train a lot of different places as well. I've gone to Las Vegas quite a bit to train, and like I really like it over there. Very good coaches as well. But I love Ireland and I love living in Ireland. So like I'm going to be an SPG for the next while. Please
Yeah,
God.
and Ireland is yeah, a good hint, because in the end, if you become double champion in Octagon, probably this would set up, yeah, an event in Dublin perhaps.
That's my plan.
Yeah, that's your plan. Can you tell us a bit more about the plan? If this plan could work out in the end, there are not so much more guys from yeah, how can I say, you're from UK. I know Ireland is not UK in the end.
Good. Good.
We
Because
have,
we fought a lot for not being
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
UK, you
sure.
know.
Yeah, and we so from my point of view, I adore Ireland to be part of Europe. Um, but we still have Shamrock. We don't know how long, but is there a lack of faces to draw audience to Ireland, or or does Octagon need more fighters like you from Ireland?
So look, I think it's kind of a complex question because they're doing so well in Germany right now, and the German market is huge. And they're selling tickets, and there's an audience there that want MMA, so it's amazing. It's a great situation. I feel really grateful for the fact that German fans, like I'm after we're selling out an arena in Stuttgart, a Bulgarian guy and an Irish guy fighting each other. I'm delighted that fans care this much about my fight, you know, and that people are willing to pay to see me fight. It's look, I'm a damn good fighter. I'm a high level fighter. You know, I'm going to put on a show and I'm going to be damn good at what I do, and I have been for a long time. But it's amazing to have an audience there who want to engage with that. And I feel like from Octagon's point of view, if they can sell out a stadium, you know, 15,000 tickets in Germany, it's hard to convince them to come to Ireland where they might sell 9,000 tickets, you know, and maybe pay more to have to rent the arena. And there's a lot more like safety restrictions in Ireland. We all have to get brain scans, so it costs more to do everything a little bit. And the price of Ireland, like, you know, everything is more expensive in Ireland.
Mm.
So probably they will make less money if they come and do this. But, and this is the but on my back, and this is my job, I feel like, if I'm this legacy fighter, the double champ in the organization, somebody who's gone and done incredibly special things for you, eventually you kind of owe it to this guy to come to his home and do a show for him and do a show for, you know, the Irish audience. And the thing is, the Irish are very good fans. You know what I mean? Like Stuttgart. You know, actually, it's funny because like there's a song in our like Joxer Goes to Stuttgart. It's an Irish song about the European Championships in 1988 when Germany was the host, and our first game was against England in Stuttgart. And all like half of Ireland, you know, they got like camper vans and they drove over to Stuttgart and we stayed there. So they're great fans, the Irish. But it's kind of, can we create that buzz? Can they, like, will they invest in Ireland. It's my job to convince them to do this. And I
Mhm.
think if they do, there's enough talent. Trust me, we have enough really good fighters and really good characters that they could come and the people would blow up, and like
Mhm.
if they get in a couple more Irish guys from SB, like from wherever, we have a lot of talent in this country. The level of MMA here is actually very high. It's kind of strange because like we had a thing called the golden generation, like shortly after Conor was signed, where a lot of guys got signed to the UFC. Probably they were not quite at the level they should have been at. Right now, we have a lot of guys who are at a really high level, but they don't have the opportunity to show their talent. And that's why I'm really grateful that I'm getting this opportunity to show, hey guys, I've been working really hard on being a really good fighter for the last 15 years. And finally now I'm getting the chance to sell out arenas and go and, be a big star in Germany and be a
Mhm.
double champion. That's incredible. But like I would like to create that opportunity for the next generation.
Mhm.
And I feel like Octagon are such a good promotion and it gives such a good platform that if I continue to win and continue to be this legacy fighter, I can bring them back to Ireland.
Mhm. Yeah, and
So I don't think it will be easy. I don't think if I win this next fight that they're guaranteed to come to Ireland. But I think if I keep winning and keep winning and keep winning and keep doing special things for a long time, it's nearly inevitable that they will come to Ireland.
Yeah, and I would agree. A double champ deserves a match on home turf.
Yeah, yeah,
And as you said, but there is already Irish history with Stuttgart, where we're
yeah.
going. And Lazar Todev is from Stuttgart. He's
Yeah, I
Bulgarian.
noticed. Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you expect to get booed over there?
Yeah, probably. Like, look, he's the home fighter. That's fine. Like, I don't mind this at all. Like, look, with Carlos, when I went to Prague, it was 20,000 people booing me as soon as I walked out. But it's a good energy, to be honest. As long as people care, amazing. So if you're invested but you want me to lose, great, I don't mind. But when I come in and whoop your guy's ass, you gotta respect me. You know? So like I'm here to like show you how good I am. And if you were like invested in me getting my ass whooped, great, amazing. But after I whoop your guy's ass, who you think is the best, you have to go, damn, that guy's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you already have a lot of fans in Germany, so
Cool.
I don't think the boost will be overwhelming
Cool.
in
Yeah.
the end because
To be honest, whether you like me or hate me, the main thing is I'm damn good at fighting. And I
that's
think
right.
already because of the knockout in Frankfurt, probably anybody who follows the MMA scene a little bit knows, wow, this guy's pretty fucking good. So as long as you know this, yeah, even if you don't like me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just know that I'm damn good.
And the card felt a bit apart in the last few days with Christian
Yeah, a lot of
Jungwirth
injuries.
not able to
Yeah,
fight and
yeah,
Lutherbach not fighting Muradov. In the end, you've been the main event. You're still the main event. So you're the big climax. Everybody's looking forward to in the end. Besides Christian Jungwirth, to be fair, he's
yeah.
a
He's
really
big stuff
big
over.
local hero over there. But as you mentioned your German experience, what do you like about Germany? Is there anything you like about Germany?
Yeah, well,
What have you seen from Frankfurt, or have you seen any other city?
so the last fight I lost was in Germany, actually. So I've been, no, my first taste of Germany was not good, but it was in Kastrop-Rauxel, which is
Mhm.
up in the Ruhr Valley, kind of
Yeah.
between Dortmund. Yeah. And that was pretty miserable. It was during the lockdowns, during COVID. So we flew out of like empty Dublin airport. There was only like, the whole place was like a ghost town. And we had to fly to Amsterdam and then we drove down and this place was dead. There was nothing happening. So we walked around the zoo and we were like, oh, this is not nice. And then I fought in like an empty arena. And then I lost this fight to a Polish guy, Maciej Krzyzanski. It's the last fight. It was like 5 years ago nearly now. And this was like, nah, I don't want to fight in Germany again. That was crap.
Mhm.
But then the German MMA scene and Octagon, in fairness, have done an amazing job at like promoting themselves in this and making themselves like mainstream. And now it seems like there's a massive scene that people are really interested in MMA and the fans are really cool. So the night in Frankfurt was amazing. First of all, to sell 60,000 tickets, it's incredible. But then when I went out and like obviously I had the big knockout, so people are delighted to see it. So I was just out getting a beer in the stadium and guys were coming over and they're like, oh my God, amazing. Can I get a photo? But everybody was like, look, in Ireland, when you're like, I fought in Dublin a lot of times, when you interact with the audience, most people are drunk and they're nice, but they're a little bit like, oh, okay, cool. I want to be back, not in the audience. But over in Frankfurt, everybody was really, really nice. Genuinely, like anybody who asked for a photo was very like respectful, couple of guys, they were like, "Oh, I want to buy you a beer." I was like, "No, no, relax. You know, I'm going to be too drunk if everyone buys me a beer." You know, but everybody was really, really good, like cool people, very respectful people, and they kind of in Ireland, because maybe of Conor and because of like the success of some of the other fighters, they don't really respect the success that you have. Or like, you know, even if you get like a good win, whatever, they're like, yeah, you know, you're just another guy.
Because the
Whereas
bar
like,
is so high, Connor lifted.
yeah, kind of. I also think it's just because of this like the bullshit promotional way that, you know, it's like, what's your talk? What's your stick? And it's like, no, I'm just me. I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to be tend to be some wrestler type character or, you know, some bullshit guy. I'm Will. I'm happy to be me. You know, and they're like, I have character. I have a lot of character, I feel like. But they're like, oh, you need to sell yourself. Like fans will come up telling you this shit. And you're like, man, you just let me be me. I'll be happy to be me, you know? Um, whereas I didn't feel any of that from the German people. Like they were just like, wow, it's really cool what you're doing. It's amazing. Well done. And you're like, oh, thank you very much. And it's a good experience. It feels really warm when you meet the fans. And even like before the fight, actually, we did like a big press conference the night before. And outside, I was with my parents and like a couple of guys who come over to watch the fight. And everybody who came over to like shake, you know, they were like, oh, cool, good luck tomorrow. It was really like, wow, they're really nice. So my experience of German MMA after my first fight was really good. So Frankfurt was amazing. I was really happy. And look, the big thing I see is like, it's a massive country. You know, there's a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of cities. There could be a lot of events, a lot of fights, and obviously Octagon see this as well. But I would love to become a huge star in Germany. Like I see a massive opportunity of like, there's definitely going to be a lot more talent coming up in Germany. You know, you've got a lot of good athletes. I think the MMA scene is a little bit behind in Germany. You know, you're not producing the level of talent that you should be yet, but it will come. It's undoubtable. Like you guys have got a lot of good gyms like UFD. There's inevitably going to be a spike in the level of talent coming up. But if I'm the guy who's there to take on those guys coming up, great, amazing, you know. And if we can do some big fights over there, great. And they like when I saw the event in Frankfurt, it's incredible, you know, to fill a stadium. Wow. So like if I can be the main event of a show like that someday, that's amazing. So I just see a huge opportunity in Germany. And I
Mm.
see that like the fans are cool, everything like the atmosphere feels good. Like I saw that there was a bit of criticism on the last event that they were like, oh, the fans weren't too invested. But I feel like if you make the fans invested, if you create a store like, you know, and then Octagon do promote things well, but also it's my job as the fighter, create like an emotional response to make people care. So like I feel like with Todev, it's kind of a weird one. I actually think Todev's probably a pretty good guy. I don't have anything personal against him. But it's like, man, you're in the way of me becoming a double champ. I don't care how fucking nice a guy you are. I'm going to come in and smash you, you know? And I think in the fight, this will show. So probably within the fight, people will see, whoa, this guy, that's something special.
Mm.
And after this, I think there's an opportunity of whoever you fight next, you can create a story. And if you create a story and get people invested, they will be emotional one way or the other, you
Yeah.
know?
And it will be interesting to see your story continue in Germany because I think there's a little German in you because you're living the Spud life. And yeah,
Yeah, so
the spud, there, if you compare Germany to a vegetable, it would be the potato. So
really, because
yeah,
Irish were very famous for the potato as well, man, you know?
German
We
as
had like 2
well.
million people die because the potato crop failed.
But can you explain the Spud life in the end? I mean, you have to watch your weight at some time, but
Exactly. But no, now a heavyweight, I'm going to town on Spud Life, you know? So this was just a thing like a couple of years back. One of the guys, he was a Portuguese guy that I lived with, and he was like Pedro Carvalho. He fought with Bellator a lot. He fought Pitbull a couple of years back. But I lived with him and he was like, man, the amount of potatoes you eat is crazy. And I was just like, yeah, it's the Spud Life, you know? So then I started to like play into this, like the Spud Life, you know, because I eat a hell of a lot. Like, you know, I probably eat like 2 kilos of potatoes every day.
oh,
Um, so yeah, like they're very not dense. So you can eat a hell of a lot and you don't gain too much weight. So actually when I started to go from middleweight up to light heavyweight, I had to start eating like more rice and more like pastas and this type because potatoes are so big for how much calories are in them. You actually can't really gain as much weight as you think you can. And like I move and I train a lot and I do a lot of stuff. So even now, just to maintain my weight, I have to eat like crazy amount of potatoes every day.
That's the secret in
Yeah.
the end to success in Germany.
Exactly, yeah.
We'll see if it works out. From my point of view, I want to say a big thank you for your time,
Cheers.
Will.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck for your fight in Stuttgart,
Cheers.
and hope you stay well until the next Saturday,
Yeah, more than.
and we'll meet.
I just had my last sparring session today, so any chance of getting injured is gone.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, good, we're at the fight. Let's go.
That sounds great. We will see us in Stuttgart as well. I will arrive on Friday, and yeah.
Brilliant. Cool.
We'll meet up there. I'll shake hands. Want to meet you in person. See
good.
how big you really are in real life.
I'm not massive. I'm just fucking like pretty big.
Yeah,
I'm not like fucking Tom Aspinall, like 6'5", 120 kilos. I'm like 107, 108 kilos right now.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward for this fight because I think it's the technically two of the best of the organizations.
Yeah,
and
I think so. I think he's like, out of all the challenges I could have faced, I think Todev is the toughest guy. I really do. I believe that. Like, I know people were saying, oh, Murdoch, he's fought in the UFC, whatever. I think if you look at Todev and the way he moves and his skill set, he's the better overall fighter. I think he's a harder guy to fight. So I'm very proud. Like, when I win this fight, I'll be very proud of it no matter what way I win this fight.
Yeah, and like I already said, best of luck for this one. We'll meet up over there, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend, and yeah, see you soon.
Cool. Thanks, Michael.
Bye bye.
Take care of yourself. Best luck. See you, man.